Hey, Dimitri Downing back here with another episode of MITA Unshackled. And this is actually a Canterbury Tales. And
That was good.
Canterbury Tales. Canterbury Tales is an experimental podcast that we're developing. We'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second. But I'm pleased to be joined with one of the industry OGs. I think I've known you for like 10 years now. Bill Gibbs, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
And we're here with Kevin Hill as well.
Nice to meet you.
So we're going to talk a little bit about their journey into cannabis, how it started, and then we're going to get to Sweet Dreams, which has a exciting collection of products to share. I'm not sure we're going to sample them today, but we will have them at an upcoming MITA. So first of all, Bill, you've been in the industry since, well, I know you have a tremendous history before the industry. I don't know if you want to get into that, how much you want the people to know, but you do have an exciting past. And then tell us how you got into the industry in 2012.
Well, I was lucky enough to get a license, I suppose, awarded in the lottery, basically, and then, if you remember what happened, the state sued the federal government, and we were on hold for a while, right? Like a year and a half or something like that. And then finally it opened up, and then, we got into it like everybody else. I hadn't been exposed to cannabis since college, basically. And then I got back into it and had to learn everything just like everybody else.
And so remember that was August 8th. I think we met on August 8th, 2000. Well, right after August 8th, 2012, there was some hotel up on I-17 that everybody gathered at under Gordon Hamilton. Do you remember that?
Oh, I do.
I wish I could remember the name, but it's. So you got a dispensary in the Alhambra Alhambra. And then you built out Urban Greenhouse, it was?
Yes.
That was a cool name. I love that dispensary, and it transitioned into one of the Harvest family.
Yes, I sold a Harvest in 2019.
Excellent. So, and then did you take a little break, or when did Sweet Dreams start?
Sweet Dreams, yeah, the kids are out of the house. I'm kind of bored. And so I kind of wanted to get back into the industry again. So I was coming up with this idea. I mean, the genesis for the idea, honestly, was I'm too old now to drink alcohol like I used to.
Right.
And so it was like, I still like the social aspect of it, but, and also I'm asthmatic, so I can't really smoke a lot, although it's not as bad for you as cigarettes. But so I was thinking, what could I do to still partake,
Right.
And there was no, I was surprised to learn that there was no kind of, what would you say, a analog to alcohol in the cannabis industry. And the funny thing is, when we had the vape pen company, I exhibited one year at MJ BizCon, and we had a booth there. And, we were selling a whole room full of vape products, but I had one bottle of wine. I steamed the label off and put a kind of a fake label on there. And I got probably 80% of the people that came to the booth wanted to know about the wine.
Excellent.
And so I realized at that point that there was a market for it, but nobody knew how to do it. And so I didn't do anything with that knowledge because I was busy doing the dispensary. But after that, then after I'd sold it, I was like, well, I wonder how many competing products there are. And I was just astounded to find out that there was none.
Well, that's a great perspective on how to build a brand and how to build a product. What do I need? What do I want? What would I use? And that's a great way to start. Mm-hmm. I never really reflected upon that, but that's smart.
Well, and along those lines, the other thing
this is why he's developing brands and I'm hosting podcasts.
The other thing along that line, which was interesting, is the problem with edibles is the fact that it has such a slow onset. And we've all been initiated. It's kind of like the computer backup club. We've all been initiated to the edibles club where you've taken too much. Mm-hmm. And, nothing happens after 30 minutes. Then nothing happens after 60. At an hour and a half, you take like twice as much again because you're like, nothing's happening. Then after 2 hours, you take a little bit more. And by 2.5 hours, your feet don't touch the ground and you're high for like 4 or 5 days.
This happened to me at an Earl Cup accidentally because I only use cannabis to consume to sleep at night. Yeah. But I accidentally had a whole brownie at it was a Cure Leaf VIP party Steve Cottrell gave me. I thought there were so many brownies. Sorry, I shouldn't
No,
talk.
no.
We'll talk about this some other time.
We're all the same story.
We've all had, and my story is,
I can't get into the story.
when we first, had the dispensary, I was like, okay, well, I got to try an edible. Somebody give me an edible. And they gave me a little thing. It was called the Chiba Chew or something like that.
Chiba Chew, I remember that one. Yeah.
And they said, yeah, just eat that and before you go to bed and you'll be fine. Well, I ate that thing. It was 100 milligrams.
Ooh.
And I woke up in the morning and I was still really high. And
Right.
I was like, oh my God, I have to go to the hospital. And then I looked at the wrapper and I was like, this is how naive I was. I wonder if 100 milligrams is too much, right? And so then I realized after I talked to somebody, barely being able to use the phone, that that was a problem. And so we've all been initiated to that. So that was one of the problems that I had to overcome with the drinks, okay? It has to be a fast onset, and it can't last for 12 hours because that's the way alcohol works. So I bought this fancy, expensive machine, and then it took me 9 months to figure out how to run it, because the problem with cannabis is nothing's written down, right? There's not like, there's a lot of scientific literature you can go to and you can read the studies and see how it's done and all that kind of stuff. So we literally had to experiment. But I knew what I was shooting for, and what I was shooting for was a graph actually that I think is on the website, which is I took people and had them drink beers and mixed drinks, and then every 15 minutes asked them how high they thought they were, right?
Yeah.
So then I plotted that curve, right? And at about 2.5 hours, I just had them do one drink, and then about 2.5 hours they were out of it. Well, that's what I needed to shoot for. I needed a curve with this that looked like that, right? So that was my model for trying to perfect the process to make it fast acting. So this hits you now in about 15 minutes, a little slower than alcohol, but that, that's just the technology the way it is.
So it hits you in about 15 minutes and it lasts for 2.5.
Yeah, about 2.5 to 3 hours is the average length of time. And it's interesting how it works, though.
Do you wake up feeling like you need to go to the hospital?
No, you do not wake up only if you drank all of this at once would that be the case?
Yeah. How do you wake up in the morning? Feel good? Feel relaxed?
Yeah, you feel you don't feel, but you have to get your dose right.
Right.
That's the other thing about, the whole titration thing is.
Well, will this make you feel tired or what kind of impact will it have on you?
It's a body high.
High.
It's relaxing. It's not quite as euphoric or paranoid as smoking is, for sure, when you smoke flower. So it's a little bit more like alcohol, really, honestly. You're kind of relaxed.
Right.
And it's a good, party thing.
At this point in my life, I like alcohol and cannabis. That puts me to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called sweet dreams for a reason.
So
Yeah.
I drink wine now more than ever in my life because it puts me to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the problem with that, with
Different
alcohol,
people, different things.
but the problem with alcohol is it does put you to sleep initially, but then it wakes you up. Okay. You lose a lot of your REM sleep when you're doing alcohol. That doesn't happen with cannabis. So if you look at the literature, and unfortunately that's all the stuff I had to read to try to figure out how to do this. But the way this works, what I was going to explain, is kind of interesting. Basically, the machine shrinks the droplet size down to less than 100 nanometers. Now, just to give you an idea, a human hair is 100,000 nanometers. Okay, so 100 nanometers is pretty darn small. What that allows it to do then, when you consume it, is to go through the small intestine like alcohol and into the bloodstream. Because otherwise, if the droplets are too big, it's your body literally has to make the chemicals to emulsify it, and that's what takes 2 hours. It's 2 hours for your body to make the emulsification to get it into your bloodstream. Whether it's olive oil or whatever it is. But with olive oil, you don't care. You're not trying to get that in the bloodstream.
Where do you learn all this stuff?
I had to do
Trial
that
and
to
error.
figure out how to do
Just
this.
did research?
Yeah, just research. And I hired a bunch of scientists and doctors and, all kinds of people to figure this out, basically.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
Everybody,
we built it from scratch. We're now, chemists, microbiologists, janitory maintenance guys now.
Yeah.
From all the spills, but basically we make it water soluble. So regular edibles are fat soluble, so they have to get processed through your liver, and you only because your liver processes it not at a great rate. You only get about 20 or 30% bioavailability.
Yeah, that's right. That's a really good thing. So this is stronger. So 10 milligrams here is going to be stronger. Some people it's 5 times, some people it's 2 times. So it's going to be stronger. So you have to be a little bit careful.
And, just because we forgot to introduce Kevin.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. I'm just.
Well, no, people are going to bump into you and
Sure,
say,
sure.
at MITA and stuff. They're going to say, I
Yeah.
saw you on the podcast.
Absolutely,
So,
yeah.
Kevin, could you tell us a little bit about yourself,
Yeah.
and then we'll get back into the product.
Sure. No,
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Bill. Sorry.
No, it's all good. My name's Kevin Hill. I'm the VP of Business Development here, Sweet Dreams, and I owned a medical diagnostic company for 15 years and shut that down with Obamacare. Cut our reimbursements like 90%.
Yes, we won't pick on Obama. On this.
No. No,
I'll do that on another podcast.
No, it basically just I sold my business in 2016 and was very interested, always been interested in cannabis, and so I figured I'd want to get into the industry, and so I got a job doing sales with a couple different companies, and the last company that I worked with, I met Bill. And I was in between jobs, and he said, "Hey, look, I'm looking to start this company. We do a nano-infused cannabis wine and margarita, and it's a complete startup from scratch. If you're interested in partnering up, would that be something that interests you?" And I said, "Absolutely, let's do it." So we started literally from square one with his idea of doing a wine, and we tried non-alcoholic wine, and it tastes like crap. It really does.
Have you ever had non-alcoholic wine?
I didn't know they make it.
They do.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not
That's
good.
how I thought we would start.
Yeah.
Just take non-alcoholic wine, add cannabis to it, and you're done.
Yeah.
Right? Because they got we're near California. There's Arizona wineries.
Right.
But it's awful. It's
terrible.
not just bad. It's terrible.
It's terrible.
So we had to then we had to create the freaking formulas for non-alcoholic wine.
Yep.
So where's the wine coming from?
So there's no alcohol in here. They're mocktails. So
Okay.
basically, the Canna is a blend of blueberry and pomegranate juice from concentrate.
Which one is that? Over here.
That's That's called Canna
Cabernet.
Canna Bernet.
Canna Bernet.
Canna Bernet. I can't
Nice.
even say Cabernet anymore. When I actually drank a Cabernet
Very subtle.
wine, I say
If you
Canna
look
Bernet.
on there, it says Canna Bernet.
Canna Bernet. Yeah, so it's basically blueberry and pomegranate juice from concentrate with like a pepper extract and a vanilla extract to kind of give it a mouthfeel of wine.
And some other secret stuff.
Some other
so
stuff
let's not
in
give
there.
the entire
Yeah,
formula
exactly.
The
out
secret sauce.
Yeah.
And 100 milligrams.
That's 100 milligrams.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Very
basically, one glass is going to be 10 milligrams.
Okay, and it tastes good.
Yep.
It tastes good.
Yep.
You're not going to go, this is award-winning Canna Bernet, but you're going to go, it's Canna Bernet-like, right? And it's not. It's 1,000 times better than non-alcoholic wine.
So, but if you 100 milligrams, you drank this whole thing, you'd be sleeping.
You'd be sleeping.
The
You don't want to drink the
smaller
whole thing.
210 bottles are 100 milligrams as well. So
Although, like David, your guy out front, he's a 100 milligram guy.
Oh yeah. That's true. This is cool too. So how many different products have you guys developed here?
So far, we have 4 products. We have the Canna Bernet, 2 sizes: the big bottle, the small bottle.
You don't have the small bottle here.
Yep.
Oh, that's the small bottle over there.
Yeah, that's a small bottle, and that's 100 milligrams too.
This is 100 milligrams. So this is the same, and it tastes the same.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, same thing.
So
maybe for more on the go, and then this is to share with this. That's more of the smaller doses.
Okay.
Is the big bottle.
it's just like a shot.
Well, it's not quite a shot.
4
The
shots.
motto is you can only drink more, you can't drink less.
Okay,
That's the motto.
I like that. This is share with friends. This is on the go. I like that. And so you have these 2,
Yep.
and then you have
The Margarita.
It's margarita.
okay,
It's a margarita.
and it tastes like margarita.
It does
tastes
taste like.
actually,
Many
that
people think
tastes-
it has alcohol.
Yep, that does taste specifically like a margarita. Poured over ice, nice and cold, both of them, and you can't tell the difference really.
This is cool. We're gonna have to do a sampling at MITA.
Sure.
Yes, we're
Well,
going to be
We're going to be there. We'll be there.
and we'll have medicated samples as well.
This is so you got this, you got the little version of this,
Yep.
Yep.
and then the mango.
Well, no, that's H2O.
Yep.
Oh.
Just
So
medicated
it's like
water.
it's like medicated water. So that's kind of a different. It's not really a mocktail.
Medicated water.
Yeah.
A lot of the brands on the market, a lot of the drinks on the market are seltzers, carbonated, and this is just we wanted a regular water. So you have like a mango infused water or a lemon infused water that we came out with that people just like water, after sports drinks or just to have a cold sip of water with mango or lemon.
Excellent. So, do you have other flavors of water?
We're coming out with a few more. We're doing a citrus. We did a. Citrus.
Well, we have lemon now.
Yeah, we have lemon
right
and
there.
mango, and we're working R&D on a couple different flavors as well.
It sounds like you guys have like really top-notch R&D. So I'm like,
Well,
listening to
that's
this.
the thing is you got to follow the market.
You're looking at the R&D
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. But the next one is MITA, and I'm just having the labels printed up now, and we're going to call that high tie.
High tie.
Yeah, and then we have the other one that's going to come out at the same time. Instead of sex on the beach, it's going to be sex on the grass.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, in the end, I always tell people, it's great to have a good story. It's great to have great leadership, and but the product has to speak for itself.
Totally right.
Absolutely.
So
totally
people
right.
have to enjoy it. So
people actually, if you look on our website, there's a lot of social proof. We have a ton of customers, patients that actually swear by our products, that actually help them with sleep, help them with different debilitating pain. They give testimonials. We don't, they give their own video testimonials on our website. You can see them all. And they love it. Absolutely.
I'm kind of surprised by it. I mean, we have hundreds of people that post and do videos about it, and it's kind of amazing because there's no other products out there like it, basically.
So when was Sweet Dreams first? Is it just now available in dispensaries? How many dispensaries?
First of the year is when we started, maybe
First,
by March.
just this year.
No,
last year.
Last year.
Yeah, sorry,
last
that's right.
March.
Yeah, last March, right.
Okay, very cool. And so things have been going well.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a while to get in the market. It's a startup, basically, but it's been received well by the market. That's the thing I like. It sells well in the stores that we're in, and the fans and the customers seem to like the concept.
We're in about 20 locations and growing, and just working on more locations.
Then California, then Nevada, then.
Well, I mean,
working on a couple different states.
So I learned from the University of Phoenix that, you don't want to expand too quickly. So I didn't want to, I've had a lot of offers to go to other states and do that. I don't want to do that yet.
Right.
We got to flush this out to make sure the response from the market is good, the formula is good, the production is good. Because if you don't, I could be in a dozen states right now, and then if I find I've got some problem, now I got a dozen problems.
I want to invest in this. Did we mention that Mr. Gibbs is one of the big dogs at University of Phoenix? We kind of left that out.
Yeah.
I was letting you mention that, but he accidentally mentioned that.
Yeah.
So, no, it's. I mean, talk about it, and this is a great concept, great team, and great strategy. Conquer the Arizona market, and then go on out elsewhere.
Here's the thing that's tough about it. Okay, so the edibles market is about 5% of all cannabis sales. Right,
5 to 10. Yep.
What's that? Yeah, it depends by the state. In Arizona,
by the state.
It's about 5. Arizona, it's about 5%.
Arizona,
Colorado, it's higher. California, it's higher.
Okay,
and the drink market is 5% of that, maybe 5 to 15% of that. So you're talking about a little narrow niche here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so, but the market, that's not the market that I think we need to aim for. The market that I'm aiming for isn't the people that are buying it now. It's the market that I think in 5 years or 4 years are going to be buying it. It's the old people, unfortunately, like you and I, who can't, who can't handle these high doses.
We look great,
and they're looking for an alternative to alcohol.
Right.
But right now they're not using cannabis because they're afraid of cannabis. Right. And it has that stigma, which is now starting to wear off. But we get a lot of we have some older people that a lady will buy 2 or 3 cases at a time. And she drives all the way up from Tucson, when she's up here to do it.
Yeah, I think, and that's very astute thinking, because when federal legalization happens, there's going to be, I don't know what the bell curve growth, what it was, hockey stick curve growth, in people trying cannabis, but they're all new to cannabis.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're going to be looking for stuff that they're comfortable with, that they recognize, and consumption patterns that they're familiar with. Oh, okay, I know how to drink beer or wine.
Yes.
So I'm going to try Sweet Dreams. Yep. I don't want to start smoking because I've never smoked in my life anything.
Yeah, and you're not going to. They're not going to get out a dab rig and try that for the let's try that for the first thing.
Those people that want to dab are dabbing already.
Yes,
exactly.
And you're not going to get a new user to do it that way. But it's attractive to them to have half the calories, sometimes a quarter of the calories, and the effect of alcohol without all the negative consequences of alcohol. Could you imagine if there were some health benefits to drinking alcohol? We'd never be able to tackle that market. But it's like shooting at a moving target, because the target is out here as you correctly point, as the market grows, that's where we want to shoot for.
So is there maybe it's not yet? Is there a Sweet Dreams Vineyard Resort where people can go hang out and visit and stay for a few days somewhere in Arizona?
Not yet, but we're talking to consumption lounges.
Yeah,
possibly.
like in Wilcox or in Prescott, where they can come chill at the Sweet Dreams Vineyard.
Yeah,
on the horizon.
On the horizon.
Or is that in Paradise Valley?
No, it's not. I don't know that it'll ever be in Paradise Valley, but
no, I love it. It's exciting, and of course, at MITA, because we are originally in Arizona and we're MITA USA expanding, a big heart, big love for the Arizona-based brands.
Yes.
I've always been a huge fan of Timeless and Bake Bros and Kind, and I'm not sure if Kind's how they're doing right now, but
they're still in the market. They're still in the market, and Arizona brands, once we became REC, all the other states want to come into Arizona, and it's something about being an Arizona brand that appeals to Arizonians.
Well, the way this is going to shake out, it's just going to be like the spirits and wine industry.
Yeah.
Which right now there's, I think, 4 or 5 or maybe 6 giant players that have 80% of the market, and the other 20% is like 10,000 small brands, of which some of those brands could be $100 million in revenue. Right. So that's where I think this will work. It'll shake out. When this is able to be traded on the NASDAQ, and the big companies come in, and take over the market, there'll still be room for the kind of boutique brands, which is where we'll wind up unless we sell, to somebody. And there'll be plenty of room in this market for a long time to come. I'm not sure that's true on the retail side. When these companies come in and start buying up all the retail licenses, I don't know that there'll be much room for, you'll either be at one of these big box stores or you won't.
Yeah, and my heart's with the brands. I mean, in the end, in my limited experience, my limited knowledge in life, and maybe I'm wrong, and you know much more than I do about a lot of things, but it seems that the brands are more concerned about their legacy, their reputation, and their product, and what eventually that ties into what the consumers and the patients wants, whereas manufacturers, cultivations, and dispensaries, they are concerned as well, but not to the level that the brands are sensitive to their mission and their purpose and their identity. You kind of follow me with that?
Yeah,
so to me, it's like my future in the cannabis industry. I want to hang out with the brands. Yep. I want to promote the brands. I want to work with the brands. I think your brand's great. The product speaks for itself, and you've got a great leadership team. I'm thinking to myself that are you going to MJ Unpacked? are you in New York City?
Oh, we
will eventually.
Yeah, we will eventually.
No, but I mean, you're like, this is. I mean, there's going to be all kinds of individuals that are looking at. They bring in like 50 to 150 brands from around the country. Mm-hmm. But let me connect you with those guys, because certainly it's in New York this year in April. Okay. So there's going to be a lot of interesting people that are looking at the national possibilities there, and they should be well aware of you guys and your team and your product. And if I can connect you with those guys, I think that would be helpful.
Absolutely.
There might be somebody there who matters, kind of stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, and you guys are going to be at MITA here.
Yeah. Next week, right?
Next week, is that right?
Yeah. Next week, yeah. We have a table. I got to talk with David. I don't know exactly where. I think we're in the main ballroom, but we'll do medicated samples.
Do you have a sample size, like a smaller size?
So basically, what we do when we do like vendor days at dispensaries,
right?
We do non-medicated samples, because obviously you can't,
right?
In just big, big pitchers on ice, where we just pour little 1 ounce little pours, little samples, and so we could do the same thing at MITA, but medicated. So it'll be just big pitchers that we do at our table, and just little 1 ounce pours will be like 10, 15 milligrams each. So people can try it. And the good thing, it's so fast acting that in 20 minutes, they'll come back and be like, this is great. Can I get another one?
So next week, will you be there March as well?
Well, we're looking to have a presence. Yeah, absolutely.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay. Well, cool. I mean, because when will we get this produced? Probably by the end of the week. So it will get out there. Yeah. But definitely
it'll be after February. Yeah. We're going to be in March, and hopefully it's because we found that in MITA, it's you get more networking accomplished in MITA than 3 months on the road.
You've done a great job with that.
I appreciate that.
It's
Done a great
actually
job
really
with
good. It really. I've been going to MITA. I've seen you at MITA quite often.
Yeah, I
And-
recognize you,
yeah,
but there's 1,000 people there.
Oh, of
you know?
course, absolutely. So it's just great. It's great networking, and everyone's outside the office, so they're a little bit looser. You have maybe a couple of drinks, and they get some medicated products, and it's just a lot of good. The real way networking gets done.
Yeah, no, we look forward to having you there, and people remember his face.
I got a face for radio, but
That's
still.
the Sweet Dreams guy. No, but that's what it is,
Yeah, sure.
And the buzz starts with the from the bud. I would say bud tenders to the dream. It's an owner with an exit strategy. I realize that that's not an appropriate slogan, but it makes sense. It kind of covers like the gamut of people who want to learn and share and build and develop and teach the Arizona and national, because people fly in now.
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
For this event.
Yeah.
I mean, we were killing at the Foundry, but I think people prefer Old Town Scottsdale actually because they can eat and drink.
It's somewhat of a bigger space too than the Foundry, so
Yeah. Cool. So anything else you want to share with the audience about the product or how to get in touch with you? Obviously, we'll get to that in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. You can go on sweetdreamsvineyard.com, or you can give me a call, on my cell phone. Answer all the time, any time of the day.
There's a number on the
There's
website.
a number on the
They just call
website.
that, it goes to him.
It's a 1-800-420 number on our website. You can see the dispensaries we're in. You can contact me. Kevin at sweetdreamsvineyard.com is my email, and everything's on our website. Testimonials, our products. You can actually order online. It'll direct you to our dispensary partner that's closest to you. And I'm always available.
And I mean, I know it's still a young brand, but people from around the country and other nations watch our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys interested in doing collabs and projects?
Well, I'll tell you a funny story. So when we did our first press release, we got 50 million views, and which is wild. But we were big hits in the UK and Spain.
We're big in Spain.
Right.
And somewhat in Mexico.
Okay.
Which is
we're
weird.
definitely interested in collaborating and discussing any possible opportunities.
Yeah, and people are going to watch us say, "Hey, those guys know how to make this product." So we can either work with them, or we can hire them to create another product or something like that.
Absolutely, and we've got it from the from scratch till the point we are at now.
Yeah,
and it's a great brand, and people love us.
Yeah, I know, because a lot of people can say, "I want to have a cannabis infused beverage and a nice label. I can do all that," but the actual science and the little details, actually getting it done.
Yeah.
Is that easy? Everyone would be doing it.
Right. Well, not everyone is Bill Gibbs.
Well, thank you for. I hope that's a compliment.
So I wanted to say you were like the owner, president, CEO of University of Phoenix, but I don't remember exactly. Everybody just
I was the president
and CEO of University of Phoenix.
Yeah.
We could do a whole nother podcast on that.
From what? From bankruptcy to an $8 billion company? 12.
Yeah, it's a small little footnote in the history of Bill Gibbs. But hopefully Sweet Dreams will be as big as University of Phoenix one day.
Well, it's fun. The number one criteria for me is it has to be fun.
Yeah, and you're doing it for you.
Yeah,
right. You're like,
exactly.
what do I need? What do I like? What will my peers and my friends, kind of thing. So that approach is how great brands get started. So we really appreciate you sharing that with us. Well, thank you for joining us on MITA Unshackled Canterbury Tales.
Yeah.
And just real quickly, we're getting more and more brands, and we want those to be part of the Canterbury Tales suite.
Nice.
So, I'll call that the podcast that shares the great stories of the emerging brands of the global cannabis industry. So every brand will be on Canterbury Tales, and MITA Unshackled is thought leaders, politics, and a lot of other things.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all interwoven right now, and long term, we're going to separate it.
Sure.
Cool.
Great.
Yeah. Well, so thank you for joining us, and we will see you February 22nd at MITA and
Yes.
often
beyond.
after that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Sounds good.